Hello and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan,
I'm Michael.
And I'm Rev.
and for this episode we watched Mortal Kombat! This movie fucking sucks, I hate it.
This
movie
movie
slaps,
has
how
the
dare
best
you.
fucking
This-
soundtrack and it's carried by one guy. Let's
It
go.
It went platinum. The soundtrack went platinum.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, it's also the only good thing about the movie.
No, the movie's
so-
great. The movie is amazing, start to not middle bit and
This-
good at the end.
This movie is fucking incredible in the worst way. I love
Yeah.
it.
This movie's great.
Well, I had never seen it before.
I
And so
Oh
all
no,
I've
no,
ever
no,
had is
okay.
people sort of
No, no,
hyping
it
up.
makes sense why you don't like it. No, it
Yeah,
makes complete sense.
everyone
why you
always
don't like
hypes up how good it is, and like everyone always like plays the song and stuff, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's so good." And then I was watching it, and I was like, "What the fuck
No, it's
is
not
this?"
good.
Don't get me
It's
wrong.
not a good
this
film.
movie is not a good movie.
People
but
lied
it is
to you about
great.
how good this film is. This movie is amazing.
Yeah, here's the thing. This is not a good movie. It's great though.
Oh, it's amazing.
I mean, like, I get that, you know, in the game it's just fighting, but at least that's entertaining because you're the one doing it and you're not just watching, like, badly
How
choreographed
dare you?
people that
No.
can't act.
How dare you? They can't act. The fight scenes are solid. They can't act for
They
shit.
can't act.
The
Do you know what
fight
the best
scenes
actor
are
in this was?
solid. Is it?
The best actor in this was the fucking Goro puppet.
Yeah.
The Goro puppet
Animatronic,
was
actually.
good.
Yeah, that was the best bit of the
Also,
film.
how
Reptile,
dare you?
however.
The guy who plays Styles' dad is in this film.
The acting of this film is carried by Liu Kang. I don't know.
It
The,
is.
I do not know the name of the guy that played Liu Kang
No.
because we can either know the actor's name or the character's name, and I know
Yeah.
the name Liu Kang. I want to
No,
point
the-
out some really important things about this film. First of all, you can tell who all the important characters are because every other character's first line to them is their name.
Yep.
Like the
Oh, you
first
can't
line
forget.
that is spoken to that character by another character is the name of the character, which is how you can tell they're important. This is good script writing, I gather.
Oh no, you've misunderstood this film. Most of it was ad-libbed.
It's so bad. Like the dialogue in this film is fucking dire.
It's
Um,
awful.
It's
Yeah, dialogue. Yeah.
Direlog. Yep.
Yeah.
Like, so I watched this film like a lot as a kid. It's the fifth film ever that
That's
I've
great.
seen. As
great
we've
film.
established in the canon of this
It's a
podcast.
good time.
Yeah, it's a fucking great time. I never watched the sequel. I have seen the one line from it though. The thing that I want to establish right at the top is the soundtrack goes fucking hard. The ADR is incredibly bad from the jump. We get the like classic Mortal Kombat death kind of vibe of like loud, audible spine snapping. Pointing down the fucking camera was a bold choice.
Hmm.
Yeah, my favourite Mortal Kombat finisher is where they throw someone from a high thing onto a spike.
Yeah,
It happens several times.
It had to be PG. Admittedly, that happens a lot in Mortal Kombat. You
Mortal
say that like
Kombat-
that's a rarity in Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat
That's a-
was kind of known for its incredibly bloody finishes to all of the
Yeah.
fights and for using basically sequences of photographs for all of
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
character models, which kind of added some quote unquote realism to the like character fights and deaths.
Yeah, so the photos were probably better actors too.
Yeah. Like I love so we get our protagonist Liu Kang waking up after having a really fucking bad dream in which his brother was killed and Shang Tsung points down the camera and just says
Yes.
you're fucking next, at which point
Yep.
like as
Powerful
audience
start.
we do not know who he's pointing to, it's just pointing at
It's
us.
us. No, it's us. It's the audience. The rest of
I
this
wish it
film.
killed me at that point.
My
Would have
favorite
been a better experience.
My
I keep, by the way,
favourite detail-
I keep going to call him Shao Kahn, and I know it's not Shao Kahn. That's,
Yeah, that's the tiger from Jungle
Yeah,
yeah,
Book,
no,
right?
I know it's not Shao Kahn.
my favorite detail from that first scene with Liu Kang is him picking up the envelope and you hear thunder sounds and the words Western Union are revealed on it.
Yeah.
Incredible. I'm sure that
Nothing
wasn't
wrong
anywhere
with
near as
that.
intentional as it was supposed to be, but it's so good.
No, it's an
Like
art form.
you've got to accept that this film is bad in order to have a good time watching it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
And the
when you do
The
that,
best
it's
actor
great.
in it. The best actor in it is the guy that plays Shao Kahn. What's his name? What's the character's name?
Oh fuck. You're making me forget now. I already said it.
Shang Tsung?
Shang Tsung,
Tsung,
that's
yes,
it. Shang Tsung. The best actor is the person that plays Shang Tsung because no one has that kind of gravitas. I've never seen that kind of gravitas in any other film ever.
It's like, yeah, there are two people carrying this film, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it is Shang Tsung and Liu Kang.
Everyone else is just
No, and Goro with his 4 arms.
Yeah, Goro's sick. Goro's like a staple of Mortal Kombat as well, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like the film, I gather, is pretty true to the video game lore in as far as video games at that point in time had lore.
Yeah, no, there were the lore is there were fights that happen.
Yeah.
Well, the lore is that
It's
there's a
fight in this tournament.
yeah. The
Yeah.
lore is that
And
there is
that's
a
it.
tournament that happens every like 10 years or so.
100 years, yeah.
Like, and if a certain side of the tournament wins 10 tournaments, they get access to the world in which they are encroaching on. In this case, it's Earth. The last 9 tournaments have been lost.
So now they need to have
So they need
Sonya.
they need to sort their
Liu
shit
Kang.
out and win one.
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
Like
So
Like the one character, so all of the characters, I was like, cool, I understand that person being cast as that character.
Yeah.
After I've only played some of the newer Mortal Kombat games.
mhm.
However, the guy that played Johnny Cage does not have Johnny Cage vibes at all.
what do you
yeah,
mean?
Johnny
What do you
Cage is
mean?
interesting.
Styles, his dad from Teen Wolf, doesn't have Johnny Cage
So we
energy.
if we want our introduction to Sonya, then we cut to Merc Squad, and we also need to say everyone's names out loud for the first time they are addressed, otherwise we'll never know who they are. I have forgotten all of their names.
Sonya Blade.
I love to struggle through a club listening to punk ? And have dancers unperturbed by gunfire.
Yeah, the guy just straight up shoots a machine gun at them,
And
and
the
it
dancers
misses
are
all
just
of them.
like fucking having it. Like
One of her friends is called Jax, I'm sure, because he's another character in Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
Before we move on, when you say like who was cast badly, Sonya Blade could have been played by Cameron Diaz.
Oh, was that an option?
That would have been
Cameron
better.
Diaz was meant to be signed on, and she dropped out at the last minute because she like broke her wrist.
You need those.
Yeah, you need them for the finishers and the
Explain.
other Mortal Kombat
But
moves.
can you imagine Cameron Diaz, like 7 foot tall Cameron Diaz in this film?
I do like that we are at least establishing motives for like Sonya ending up in the tournament, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
they have to give a reason why they're all there.
yeah, like both Sonya and Liu Kang share a parallel of revenge, right?
Kind of.
Kind of. We also have Johnny Cage's thing is recognition, right? Like
Yeah, he's an actor.
yeah, he's an
So-
actor who everyone writes like he can't actually fight.
Yeah,
Um,
except he's like a really good fighter.
yeah, like he's actually a
trained
martial artist,
fighter.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's a good way of doing the film. Like it's Johnny Cage. Like his
Yeah.
ego stuff is great. Like I love that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny. It's a shockingly young Raiden, god of thunder and lightning and protector of the earth.
He was doing
Shockingly
this voice the whole
young.
time. So
I,
bad.
as a child, I remember him being a lot older,
He's
and I
not.
think it was just white hair that made me
Yep.
think that. But the actor really isn't that old.
I recognise that actor as well. Hang on, I need to look who it is.
No, you don't. Just move on.
But
Raiden
I
with
want to
the
point
weirdest
out
voice.
that Johnny Cage beat Shrek to the punch.
Christopher Lambert.
This is the
What was
part
he
where
in?
you fall down. It's said in Johnny Cage's first opening fight. We'll save that for later. But Lou coming around on believing that the tournament is real is so poorly handled because this film is terrible, but it's also great fun to watch.
Liu Kang's whole story is poorly handled.
It's
He
so
keeps
bad.
being told. Raiden keeps saying to him, "I've taught you everything. You've learned so much." Raiden doesn't teach him anything
Yeah.
at any point.
hmm
It's everyone else. Everyone else whispering random things at him.
Yeah, but do you know the reason he doesn't believe in the tournament? He watched too much television.
That's
I mean,
right.
that's fair.
1995, baby. They couldn't say he logged on. You said this in 2015. It's just like, he doesn't believe in the tournament. He's too busy on his phone.
He's too busy on
He
the
goes
Twitter.
on Twitter too much.
The kids are posting and not
No.
fighting. What's up with that?
To be fair, if someone said there's a tournament between immortal beings where they fight for who gets domain over Earth, I'd be like, that's a TV show. What you're explaining is a TV show. So no, I get why you'd use the excuse of, oh, he watches TV, that's why he doesn't believe it. Because that's a fucking TV show. That's a TV show.
A bunch of people being sent to an island to fight each other to the death sounds a lot more entertaining.
That's called Survivor. There's a TV show called Survivor.
I do love that we slowly amass characters over the beginning of the film in quite a satisfying way, even though every single introduction to every single character sucks.
And is
Yeah,
continuous.
like the incredibly Australian Kano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredibly
Kano's-
Australian Kano trying to do a shit Brit accent, right? I read that as terrible British.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between the two. Someone could explain it either way. Kano's weird in this. Kano is as a character, so fucking strange. The weird contest between Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, and Kano over Sonya as a whole is strange throughout the whole film.
Oh yeah, every male character harasses Sonya.
Yeah,
Every single fucking one of them is just cool, hello, sex object.
there's
Person
one
distant
woman-
third.
Yeah.
Because she can fight second.
Yeah.
To be fair, thinking about it, the costumes in this film aren't as revealing as the costumes in the games,
Nowhere close.
which is a rare step up for Hollywood.
Oh, there was one bit that I found really funny, which is so when Sub-Zero and Scorpion are first there, and they're gonna have a fight, and Raiden stops it, and then Raiden's like, "Come with me," and then he just fucking teleports away.
Yeah, that's great. That's brilliant.
How are they meant to follow him?
No, that's brilliant. That
and then he just comes back, apparently, because characters just come and go into scenes as they please.
Yeah.
The CGI ship looks fucking terrible.
So we get to this shit ship that they point out is also shit.
I love the first interaction between Liu Kang and Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage is carry my bags, here's a tenner. Liu
Yeah.
Cage grabs the bags, drops it into the fucking sea and keeps walking.
That's the scene where we learn
So
that
good.
Johnny Cage is a bit racist.
Yeah.
But then they get to the shit. This is the first time I assume all of the mortal combatants are on that ship. However, we only see 3 of them, and those 3 are Sonya Blade, Liu Kang, and Johnny Cage. They're not, as far as I'm aware, I don't think they're the 3 main characters of the games. I don't know why they picked those 3, but they meet on the ship. They meet Shao Kahn. They meet Shang Tsung.
They do meet
who-
Shang Tsung on the ship because he is kind of partially running the tournament.
Yeah, he's 50-50 in on the tournament with Raiden.
The
They're
Emperor.
50-50 in. Have you ever tried running an offshore combat event over a long weekend?
Not yet,
It's
but a
li-
girl can dream.
It's a logistical nightmare. What you've
It
got
is.
to do-
That's why we need so much money on our Patreon before we can do it.
Yeah,
That's-
sign up.
it's Fire Festival. The logistics of it is awful.
I'm
I
pretty
get why
sure
they.
there were some fights at Fire Festival, but I don't think they were sanctioned.
Yeah, I don't think they were as well organized. Nothing at Fire Festival was organized.
Anyway, we get on the boat and it's time to meet Sub-Zero and Scorpion,
Yeah.
the most iconic lads from Mortal Kombat. You can tell what their
Yes.
names are because the other guys said it the moment they entered the scene.
Yep. And they say, and then they just stand there and they both do their thing, which is Sub-Zero makes cold, and
Scorpion has a guy in his hand.
logically, a character called Scorpion has a small guy in his hand that he fires out on a rope. A character called Scorpion.
Yep.
No other known powers. If only there was something else connected to the name Scorpion. You know, like how
Yeah,
some...
like having a skull for a head, or
Yeah.
being able to teleport.
We don't even know that at this point. But,
No.
Sub-Zero with the cold hands and he can make ice. Scorpion with his
the
hand whip.
hand grappling hook whip.
Like
It's
Scorpions
because they couldn't
do.
call him Dom Zero.
Yeah,
You know,
Sub-Zero
like-
does imply the existence of Dom Zero and
And
Switch
Yeah,
Zero.
that's Scorpion's original name.
Scorpion
And that's
Switch
That's why he's got the
Zero.
ropes.
But they're color-coded, which is great to know because everyone in this film is color-coded.
Yep.
And then
Including
they-
Reptile later, though.
Yes.
Yeah, when he's a person and not the worst CGI I've ever fucking
You
seen.
know, a reptile.
I love the 90s CGI because it's it's
so bad.
yeah, because it's gone past so bad at this point for me, right? This
Yeah, you
cannot
have to
ever
just
look
accept it.
good now.
No.
It's like they didn't even try.
Well
No, they
established
tried.
on-
This was 95 visual. This is fair visual effects for 95. This is average visual effects.
That's why
That
I
would
was
have
so
taken
surprised when
days to
Goro
render.
actually looked good.
Yeah, because it was animatronic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
would have taken
Why not get a
days
little
to render.
animatronic lizard?
Like Reptile would have
Yeah.
taken days to render. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like days of computer time.
Yeah, visual effects are fine. The fighting's fine. It's really the acting and the writing that really lets this down.
Yeah, like the bulk of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
no,
you
I
get some
completely agree.
fighting, and then they stand and Raiden explains the plot of the movie again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I think I've written like 6 times in this 1,000 words. Anyway, it's time for Raiden to explain the plot of the movie to Johnny Kang.
Because he goes, here's what's happening. Here's the combat is this. Guys, the Mortal Kombat. At any point in this film do they say Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
How many times?
So
No.
many, but like
the actual characters. Is it done in like it? Because I can't remember.
it's
Is
like
it done
an
in like a
issue of
huge-
No,
challenge
because
of
they try and
Mortal Kombat.
shoehorn everything else in.
Like
Yeah.
That's
including
true.
fatality, right, and finish him.
Yeah.
And flawless victory when it wasn't
Yeah,
flawless.
not
It was-
flawless. But
Well, he
the
technically didn't take
soundtrack,
any
of course,
damage.
continues to be the only thing about this movie's production value. It's like just unequivocally good, like all
Fight
the way
scenes-
through. This shit.
I know. I stand by the fight scenes are actually quite good. I stand by the fight scenes are good.
I have some notes on the fight scenes.
They're good.
like
How dare you?
Sonya just suddenly not getting how radios work.
She's very frustrated at that point.
Yeah, like
She imagine the amount of time she was sexually harassed on that boat. Like,
Sonya's a fucking merc, right? Like,
yeah,
she's gonna know her shit. Like,
Yeah,
that kind of
no,
stuff
she
is
is.
frustrating to me. Endlessly.
she is like immediately forced into stupid blonde girl
Yeah,
territory.
yeah, it
Yeah,
gets
like
worse.
immediately.
I love Johnny Cage's 1 million suitcases.
Yeah,
Oh,
As he's
yeah.
getting, going
When
up
he
the
just falls
stairs
straight
with
in the
just
water.
like fucking
that makes
7
sense.
suitcases on him. Just like can't wait to
Which-
see what the bathrooms look like. His fucking great line.
We never get to see where they're sleeping on Shao Kahn's
we
island.
don't.
Shang Tsung.
Princess
Shang Tsung's
Kitano
island.
is introduced. We can tell she's important because her name was said out loud by another character as the first thing. that's
multiple
seen.
times. Multiple times. She's also like the most Katana in the games is like wearing next to nothing,
Mhm.
and it's really strange. The costume in this is very like a normal person. It's not. There's no like, oh, this is a video game adaptation. No, she's just wearing like a workout suit essentially.
Yeah, I mean, she's got some pretty hot outfits,
But there's nowhere near like what you'd expect from
but like,
the
not
video game.
like anywhere close
like-
to how she's portrayed in the earlier Mortal Kombat games.
Or like any Hollywood movie that came out at this point.
yeah.
Like they're gonna put them in nothing. But she's.
It's worth remembering
She's
that this
there.
is pre The Matrix. Mhm.
I'd have loved to have seen this film produced post Matrix.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
It would be
Like,
sick.
This and Bulletproof Monk can swap places. Bulletproof Monk
Yeah.
can put up with 1995 CGI, and Mortal Kombat can get post-Matrix production.
And martial arts style. This
Yeah.
with like slightly more like wire work would be brilliant.
Yeah, so a lot of the fight choreography itself, right, is solid. Some of the
Hmm.
fight editing, I think, is like really poor decisions.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of the first like big fights with the trio, every single punch and kick is cut at the point of contact to a different punch and kick to show the hit, which
Yeah.
makes me think that this like it makes the scenes feel like they were shot piecemeal rather than as
Yeah.
like one single thing, which is not the case with some of the fight scenes, right? Some of the fight scenes are absolutely like they could have shot this in one continuous shot and it would have been fine.
Yeah, I think like that comes from the actors not being stunt people.
Yeah.
Like the actors did. There were very few like stunt people in this. A lot of the actors did their own stuff, and none of them are like action actors.
Who is the actor who played Liu Kang? Because I do need to throw respect on him here. He actually is good at his like.
You've never seen the show Teen Wolf before? No,
Mikey.
I'm
Liu
joking.
Kang is Robin
Liu Kang is-
Shu.
Robin
Okay.
Shu, of course. Yeah, carried the film's fight scenes as far as the main character cast goes. Right? Like,
Yeah. To be fair, the woman that played Sonya Blade,
Mhm.
she was cast last minute and had to do all of the training whilst they were filming.
that is not ideal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Robin
Don't make
Shu
up
was
for the shit
fucking
dialogue, right?
ripped for this movie, by the way.
She was,
Holy
which
shit.
kind of makes me think that she was just ripped like that anyway.
No, not
Don't make up for the
actually
acting.
plays Sonya. Robin Shu was fucking ripped for this movie. He was like, beef.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm trying to just. So they got into the main room. They learn about Katana because everyone says her name and talks about how good she is.
Mhm.
We see like Goro's hand at one point.
You get the classic movie trope of one guy prefers to fight another guy, namely Sub-Zero. The guy does like loads of showy moves to prepare and like show off that they're ready to fight, and Sub-Zero just fucking kills him and like
freezes him and shatters him instantly.
I love that shit. It's one of my favorite fight cliches. Like,
so they are told at the very beginning that the only fights that are kind of allowed to happen are the ones that are like sanctioned and like the official part of the combat. They then just go ahead, everyone goes ahead and just ignores that rule.
Yep.
And it really annoyed me. They only allowed the sanctioned fights, and then it was, fuck it, free for all. You know what, kill him in their sleep.
For Kano. Johnny Cage is constantly trying to get in her pants. How many times have I told you I don't need your help? It's a guy thing.
Yeah.
My God, the cis-hets are not okay. No offense, Dan.
Like, Johnny Cage is meant to be an awful person, but he just comes off as like, that sounded like someone trying to rationalize it.
Yeah, which is awful person shit. Don't do that.
He's trying off Kano.
Kano is having dinner with Goro.
Yeah, Shang Tsung says, Reptile, go and look after Kitana, because Kitana is the heir to the throne of the underworld, as far as what's explained.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone wins Mortal Kombat, she gets the throne back, I think. If the mortals win...
Yeah, adopted daughter of the Emperor from the previous world that the Emperor took.
Yeah. So she is heir to the throne and will take it. So they can't... If the mortals win... I don't know. I was paying attention, but it didn't make any sense, so I'm trying to make sense of it here.
Don't try. It's not actually well explained in any way. I
think if the mortals win, she can get back.
We are 35 minutes in and yet to have a big fight.
Yeah, no big fights yet.
That's lucky, because you're about to have about 7 in a row.
36 minutes
Kombat.
in, it's time to crank the theme song. Big fight happens.
Is this the fight where they're all fighting random faceless guards?
This is the trio with the faceless guards, yes.
Cool. The weirdest fight in the film.
The editing in this scene is not great for everyone except for Liu.
Yeah,
Liu's editing is great because they can actually show him following through on his punches and kicks, which they can't do with any of the other actors.
That means he knows how to fight.
Yeah.
That's all that means.
It's so good. I love it. It's so bad. But
yeah, it's wild. It's dumb. It's stupid. And then they do the whole. It's another stupid trope where they do the whole fight. Weird aged Raiden comes down and does like little baby claps and goes.
My notes say anyway. Raiden's here again to explain the plot of the movie and make lightning happen.
He doesn't explain the plot. He goes, "What are you going to do about them?" And then there are more guards.
Yeah.
And then the guards step forward and Ray goes, "Oh, don't do that," and does lightning hands, and they go, and run away. I don't know. I thought Raiden didn't have any power on this island. I thought that was the point, that Raiden and Shao Kahn didn't have power on this island.
Well, Raiden specifically, like outside of his domain, basically.
Yeah. So why does he have power on this island? And Shang Tsung can take people's souls. It's not a fair balance.
Yeah.
Not a fair balance.
Cut to the next morning, and it's stick fighting time.
Yeah, between random enemy.
Yep.
Who isn't a character as far as I can tell, and Liu Kang.
Yep. We get lion sounds for the unnamed black guy here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not good. Not good.
We also
he's definitely not a character in Mortal Kombat.
Shang Tsung also says the line. He says fatality at the end, right? Like,
he says he steals the guy's soul and then says fatality, and it's like, that's not.
That's how it works. No, that's how it works. That's how.
And then you get Sonya versus Kano with a knife, and she just snaps his neck.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's that whole fight done.
To be fair, that fight is not at all sexy. That fight is like pretty graphic and quite violent.
I quite like it that like Sonya is allowed to be fucking vicious and kill someone here, and it doesn't have to be hot.
Yeah,
that's
good.
Great.
Like that's
more
that's
of that,
a good
please.
Thing. Yeah, less of the weird sexualizing of her.
The audio balance during that fight is bad all the way through. I don't know what happened and who they got in to edit the audio on that day, but
it's because all the lines were ad-libbed.
Yep.
So they probably there's probably audio that's used from a different quip that they cut in. It's not good, but it's a good fight. That's what we're going to say about everything about this film. It's not good.
Pretty much from this point in the movie, it is a series of fights.
Yeah,
up
because
next
the
we
next
have
one is Scorpion versus Johnny
Scorpion
Cage.
and Johnny Cage.
in the forest.
In some
Scorpion says
trees.
the line. He
Which
says,
d-
"Get over here."
This fight doesn't feel sanctioned, by the way. This
It
fight
doesn't.
100% doesn't feel sanctioned.
It has fucking sick metal ripping and a galloping double kick
Again,
though, which like
Soundtrack.
and the choreography for this fight I was actually pretty happy with. Like I
Yeah,
found this
it's
so
solid.
good.
And then they teleport into the underworld.
Yeah.
Into Scorpion's domain.
Something going on there,
Yeah,
but like
Scorpion has.
Into
At this point, Scorpion does the kick mashing and locks Johnny Cage in a stunned animation, so he
Yeah.
can't actually get out and do anything else.
yeah, which like
Yeah.
I love that like some of the like Unreal video gamey elements are brought into this film.
Yeah,
Like you
want
can
the-
accept that like this is a video game movie and it is not trying to be like a gritty reboot or like
Yeah, no,
some
you want
super
the, like-
realistic portrayal. It's like no, this is a fucking video game. They even say the lines. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised at this point no one pops up in the corner and goes, "Toasty!"
Yes.
I'm shocked that doesn't actually happen at any point.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Maybe we can hold out hope for the sequel, which I haven't watched.
Maybe.
Um,
It's not good. It's really bad.
Yeah, but
like,
it
it's-
has the best line ever in cinema.
It does. It does. You are not.
When Scorpion dies for getting two small cuts on him and explodes, I did like that Johnny Cage leaves a signed picture of himself on
Yeah,
the corpse.
Johnny Cage.
Yep.
But this fight isn't sanctioned. And that bothers me. Like, it's definitely not. Because every other fight that's sanctioned, there's, like, an audience.
Yep.
Audience are watching
Yeah.
it. Did they just,
Um,
like, send them both into the forest?
Every other fight that's sanctioned has our sorcerer friend there. That is not the case with Scorpion
Yeah.
and Johnny
Also,
Cage.
how the fuck did Johnny Cage get out of Scorpion's hellscape? Sorry,
You
That
just
is a
left. You just walk
warehouse,
out. Like
warehouse somewhere in San Francisco.
you know, if it sucks, hit the bricks. You just leave.
Yeah, he just
like you can
leaves.
leave anywhere if you're quick.
Yeah, he pressed the start button and went down to return to main menu.
Yeah, like, if you're caught in Scorpion's domain, just leave.
Just leave. I've been
Just
saying
get
this.
out.
Like
if
Yeah.
if a man in a yellow costume grabs you, takes you into his nightmare fire domain full of skulls, just leave.
just like if it sucks, hit the bricks.
Just go.
Just
Like
the
walk
share
out the
zone,
door.
as a wise skeleton, knows these things intimately.
Just leave. It's his domain.
You can leave, and then you can watch the next fight, which is Liu Kang versus Katana, who
Advances the
doesn't
plot by
fight.
delivering some coded messages in the most
There's-
unsubtle way possible.
use a thing, and so then he fights Sub-Zero.
and-
No, we forget. We don't. She's saying use the essence of life, which could be
Use
anything.
the element from which will life something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's like,
which
what?
turns out to mean water from a bucket that spilled over.
water
Yeah.
from a bucket conveniently placed there by Raiden at the beginning of the fight. Which means like because
Yeah.
Katana and Raiden are in cahoots is what's
Yeah.
going on.
Well, Raiden doesn't have any of his powers, so he's got to do some subterfuge.
It's just-
Apart from the scene where he did.
I've bought a
Yeah, apart from the
bucket,
scenes
fine.
where he doesn't have any of his powers and has to use costume.
Well, I think it's more that he can't use his powers to like actually influence the tournament,
He has to use the power of theatre.
right? So in
Yeah,
the
so-
sanctioned
so-
fight, he just brought a bucket along. That's not his powers.
He just brings a
Yeah, that's
bucket,
true.
so then Sub-Zero gets blue balls and
like-
starts making
no,
some ice.
I like the idea that Shang Tsung is having a go at Raiden because he's like, you're not allowed to take the bucket in. And Raiden's like, didn't use any of my powers. Didn't like it,
There was
did I?
another fight that you didn't see where he left a rake on the floor.
Yeah, he's just out here leaving stuff on the floor.
Sideshow Bob entering the Mortal Kombat tournament.
That's a much better film is watching Raiden put things on the floor for fights and then going,
Yeah, I might have
didn't,
enjoyed it.
didn't use my powers
Every
then, did
single
I?
fight, like a guy in a slightly different outfit just places something in the middle of the it's Raiden every time. It's just like, I've got a plan for this one.
No, it's a guy in like all black. He's just a stagehand. He just runs out, puts it there, runs back.
Every single time Shang Tsung sat at the edge of the stage going, no, you take that, Raiden, no. Raiden's like, didn't use my powers, and running away. A sitcom with Raiden and Shang Tsung would be great.
Raiden!
Raiden!
Crowd cheers.
Like, because it 100% Raiden would be like a mischievous. They'd live together. They'd have a shared apartment.
Yeah, of course.
Two
They sleep
separate
in
rooms.
2 separate beds next to
Three
each other.
separate rooms. Yeah. Two separate
Batman-y
rooms right next
style.
door to each other. Sonia Lady lives across the hall. She's just moved in.
Anyway,
Johnny Cage is her
Luke fights and kills
boyfriend.
Sub-Zero
No,
by
I
getting
wanna work
Sub-Zero
out
wet.
Yeah, he kicks a bucket of water, and the water becomes a spike which stabs Sub-Zero, and then Sub-Zero
And
explodes
Sub-Zero
probably.
freezes. Sub-Zero
love-
freezes.
At this point, Shang Tsung is pissed off and unleashes Goro, and now our introduction to Goro fighting is just a metal montage of people being killed with you
Yeah.
never seeing him fight, and that is the
Yeah,
best
I love Drowning
fucking
Pool.
decision in this film.
Yeah.
Like,
Well-
it's so good to, like, introduce Goro fighting, not by, like, showing him off, but by just showing 15 people dying.
Maybe they didn't have the suit ready by that point.
No, so so I read up on this, on the animatronics of Goro. They thought it would be, when they were like designing it and like working it out, they thought it would be like way more maneuverable,
Yeah.
and like way more active. Turns out it wasn't. It's pretty shit.
Oh, is that why Goro kills Jax with a big punch
Yeah,
and
it was-
doesn't tear his limbs off?
It was meant to be like way more movable and flexible and stuff, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't. So they had to like cut down how much in the film he was. But also
This
that
actually looked good though.
that fight, it looks great. But that like
Goro
when they're
is genuinely
throwing him to the
terrifying
ground. Yeah,
in this
when
film.
when he's like throwing that like montage, it also very helpfully whittles the Mortal Kombat, the human ones,
Yep.
down to just those three.
Well, no, and art. We get to see
And
art
art.
fight Goro
Yeah.
in this next scene.
Because
And
we
he
have to
fucking
remember that-
dies.
Oh,
Goro's-
is it not Jax? Is it not?
No, it's art.
No, no,
Sonya's
it's art.
friend, Jack.
No, it's art. It's just
Oh, okay, I don't
extra
know.
guy.
I was not paying attention by this point.
No.
Yeah,
But,
art isn't
like-
really introduced to us as a character, but he is a character, right?
But-
Like,
That explains it.
You can
Maybe
t-
that's
you can-
why
you
I
can tell
expected it to be a
because-
character that was introduced in the movie.
Yeah.
you can
But-
tell because Johnny Cage says his name.
Yeah, like 4 times.
Like-
And Sonya does. Don't forget Sonya does as
Yeah.
well.
And
so, Liu
I
Kang
love
does.
that Goro is a pro wrestler, right? Like
Yeah.
he does taunting and crowd work and shit. Like, great
Yeah.
characterization.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Johnny Cage punches him in the dick.
We'll
Yeah.
get to that. But
But
With
first
that
of all,
10
Brayden
minutes,
is here
that-
to explain the plot of the movie and read the absolute shit out of the trio.
yes, best thing ever. When he literally just tells them they're all a bit shit. That's the you scared thing, isn't it? You're all a different kind of scared.
Yeah, like
Johnny, you're scared of being noticed. You're scared of no one believing in you. Sonya, you're scared of.
fuck
I
if
can't
I can
remember.
remember either.
Can't remember. I remember what.
You watched it 5 minutes ago and you don't remember. I watched it on Sunday night. Like,
I remember what Liu Kang was afraid of, which was no, he's
Responsibility.
you're afraid of commitment.
like
Uh,
Destiny.
No, it's like you're scared of it's because his brother was killed and he feels like it's his fault. And Raiden says, haha, the worst kind of fear. He says, haha, the worst kind of scared. It's like, what? I don't like any.
Yeah, the script is bad, right?
The script is bad.
The script is not good. I don't think there is a single person alive who loves this movie that would say that the script is good.
No, the script is awful.
Those are not the
script is
same thing.
dire.
Like,
No.
Yeah, so then Johnny Cage fights Goro, kicks him in the dick, and then we get the classic Mortal Kombat finisher where they fall off a cliff again.
yeah, it's
Well-
it's the fight smart cliche. The character cannot outpower, and so they have to do something like sneaky
They outthink.
and get them to like get
Although-
the enemy to basically end themselves. It's
Well,
good.
that-
I like it.
We need to remember the reason that Johnny Cage is fighting Goro is it's meant to be Sonya fighting Goro, and he's like, if I challenge him now, which the fact that they can challenge anyone at any time is kind of strange because that's all Raiden is stopping them from doing. Like, you can be clever about it if you just think about it and plan. You can
Like the moment
because
they, do
have
that,
witnesses.
Raiden's like, it's about time they showed some fucking initiative. Like,
Yeah, Raiden's like, I need to stop explaining. Because Raiden's not allowed to use his powers and directly tell them, he has to keep telling them how it works so they go, oh, what if we try this? But yeah, he's fighting.
I still remember the lines. Those were $500 sunglasses, asshole. That
That was
line
ad-libbed.
is burned into my memory for
Yeah.
some reason.
Great. But he's fighting. Cage is fighting Goro because it's meant to be Sonya, and Cage is like, no, he will kill you. When she has been shown as the more proficient fighter throughout this entire film.
Anyway, it's the moment Goro is defeated, it's time for Sonya to become utterly useless for us to begin the second half of the movie in Outworld trademark sign.
Immediately kidnapped.
She immediately gets her hair messed up in a change of outfit that we see later, so that she can fully arrive in the damsel in distress role that she has been relegated to. Justice for Sonya.
Even though she has killed a guy with her thighs earlier. She broke a dude's neck.
While they're trying to hunt them down, they're fought by Lizard, who they realise the CGI is that bad that they put into a green man.
Reptile is a Mortal Kombat character.
Reptile is a Mortal Kombat...
Reptile, not Lizard.
Reptile is a Mortal Kombat character who is just like another reskinned Sub-Zero.
Yeah, Sub-Zero.
Green Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero in green.
It's okay, green Mario.
Animal powers and reptile powers. Because, you know, Sub-Zero can do cold, Scorpion...
Oh, I think he can do the Scorpion thing, but with his tongue instead. I don't know.
You know, reptile shit, big tongue.
Yeah, big tongue, acid breath, maybe.
Which is...
Baraka's not in this. That was a disappointment.
Yeah,
he was my favourite Mortal Kombat character.
So Shang Tsung kidnaps Sonya to make her absolutely useless for the rest of this film.
Just grabs her.
Sonya, and it's time to go to Outworld.
There isn't even like
the
a
previous
challenge.
world that was fallen to the Emperor.
Yeah, there wasn't even like a challenge to kidnapping Sonya. It was just like it cut to Shang Tsung running down a corridor and her going no.
So the deal was struck. Johnny Cage wanted to challenge Goro, and Shang Tsung's deal was that he would get to challenge the winner or someone he chose. And immediately after Goro was defeated, he chose to challenge Sonya and kidnapped her.
Yeah, and then
that's what went on there.
And then you learn that she can't turn it down.
So they go to Outworld. Yet another fight happens.
Before that,
Liu Kang fights the Reptile with his bicycle kick.
Before that, we get Raiden telling Liu Kang, "You're ready to fight now. I've taught you everything."
Mm-hmm.
Which the only time he has interacted with Liu Kang properly at this point is he put a water bottle on the floor. Is he put some water on the floor?
Yeah, that's maybe he's the one that puts the spikes in the final bit.
You've learned how to get wet now. It's time to
He's
fight.
the one that pulled the lever at the end to activate the spikes.
So we go to Outworld, and
which is a shithole.
Yeah,
to be honest.
The practical scenery in Outworld is great, and the CGI is fucking dire. Anyway, Katana is here to explain the plot of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Katana is here to explain the third act.
Yep, where Liu Kang must defeat the enemy themselves and their worst fear.
Yep.
I gather this will come up. I believe my notes, like at this point I'm zoning out. Sonya has just been reduced to a pure damsel now. She even gets a change of outfit, 2 out of 10.
Yeah. She also, oh man, because they essentially get pointed towards a big building where they have to go fight, and then he meets Shao Kahn, meets Shang Tsung.
Yep.
In a tall temple, but I vaguely was paying attention. Like I know the characters that were there, and I know the vague background, but it's like it's fuzzy, and I had no idea what building they were in.
Yeah, Liu Kang fights him.
It feels like a mid-level boss for some reason. He even summons minions and T-poses.
Because there's a second
I love
film.
that. It's my favorite detail. He's like summons a load of the previous warriors he absorbs and just stands there kind of T-posing for a bit while they all fight Liu Kang. Like he didn't know what to do. Like so good.
Yeah. Then
not a good actual detail of a well done movie, but fucking great to watch.
Oh no, but then they go on a balcony so they can do that Mortal Kombat finisher where someone falls from a high thing onto some spikes.
Again, you're saying that like that is not common in the games.
It's more common for them to rip someone's skull out with the spine still attached.
That's right.
No, it's so so many levels in the original Mortal Kombat had spikes on the ground. That's a valid. That's I can test you, Dan. This is a shit film. I'll give you that. I'll give you that a lot of this film is shit.
This film is fucking terrible, and I love it.
Okay, maybe I'll retract
reference.
the spikes on the floor, kind of like how they unretracted
Raiden pulled a
You
Raiden
really
pulled a
tried
lever.
to reach with that one. you were
Raiden
really
pulled a
trying to
lever.
pull that one out.
Raven pulled a lever in the door, and he was the guy in the hood. Which we didn't
He just
even
did a thumbs up.
even mention that Sony was like, my friends will be here, my friends will save me, and then they take the hoods off.
I was like, yeah,
We
right,
skipped
are.
that
That's,
bit.
That's
They're like,
our
we're
cue.
already here.
That's our
They
cue,
learn.
baby. Like,
They learn. It's the one thing they learned from Raiden.
just put your hood up and you can like
Was
put
the-
water on the
to
floor, like put
You
a
can
bucket
go
on
anywhere.
the top of the door, cover the ground
So-
with banana skins.
Is one of the one of the deleted scenes is Raiden talking to Luke Cage, where he's like, just before they go through the magical portal to go to the Outworld, he's like, guys, sorry, he's like, guys, wait, if you put the hood up, you can go anywhere.
It's just like
It's
just
like
wear
wearing a high-vis jacket.
just wear a hard
Go anywhere.
high-vis jacket. Make sure you got a clipboard.
Yeah,
You can do whatever you want.
I put water on the ground.
This one time when I put my hood up, I managed to leave an upper decker in every single bathroom.
So then Shang Tsung falls on some spikes.
Well, like first of
No,
all, Shang
it's-
Tsung turns into Liu
his
Kang's
brother.
little brother and tries to
Yeah.
guilt him, and specifically in a way that Liu Kang had stepped around earlier in the movie.
Yep.
With like, no, this was my little brother's responsibility. Like he chose this life in a way that I didn't, and he died for it.
Yeah.
So his little brother the image of his little brother trying to blame Liu Kang falls flat and fails.
Yeah, he'd been to therapy. Liu Kang had been to therapy at that point.
And do you know who his therapist was? Raiden.
You
He was
went.
like, have you tried just
Putting your hood
getting
up.
over
Have
it?
you tried wearing a hood? Have you tried wearing a
Maybe
hood?
Look,
if
that's
you
all
don't
very
feel too
interesting,
good,
but how does it make you
put a-
feel?
Put a bucket of water on the floor
Have
to
you,
make you feel better.
have you tried wearing a hood and putting some water on the floor?
But yeah, anyway,
And don't put
once,
down
again,
a wet floor sign.
once again, the dialogue is absolute shit. But there's some like
Yeah.
bonobo tier background music towards the end of
It's
this
so-
film. It's
the-
so
Oh, it does
good.
the actual theme song now.
The It's like a remixed version of the theme tune. It's fucking great.
Well,
This
no, we
movie
have like
slaps.
we have some like chill out 90s chill out vibes at points before that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they beat the guy, Soul's released, solid work. Anyway, immediate cut back to them being back at the temple from the beginning.
Yeah, they're just chill now. The
They're
movie's
back.
over.
Yeah.
They've got to wait another 10 years and then they're going to do all again.
Yeah, shame that Emperor guy never came up. Like
Nope.
they
Yeah,
were
shit.
really...
Oh no, here's a big guy.
Anyway, it's time for a
There's-
sequel hook that I never saw. Movie
There's a-
end.
There's a big guy here now. He gone fight them. They 5 people. They fight big guy.
Yeah.
The
And you
end.
don't see the fight because sequel
If-
hook, baby. The
and
eggs
if-
have hatched at the end of Godzilla. It's time for the sequel hook that we never
Yeah.
got.
And if you think this film is bad, strap in for the second one.
Oh god, I'm
Because
gonna have to
a
watch
good
that.
God.
I can't wait. I really want to watch that. Like,
Oh,
not
it's
because it's
bad.
good. Once again, like I didn't watch this film because it's good. I watched this film because it's joyous.
Yeah, absolutely. So, while we're at the end, while we're here in this, the perfection that is this film, out of 10, everyone but Dan.
Why? Because I'm giving it a 1 because it was fucking
You-
awful.
It
Correct.
doesn't deserve a 1.
Um,
No, I will. It doesn't deserve a 1.
Uh,
We know.
Yeah,
we
the
know-
1 is for the Goro suit.
No, we know what deserves a 1 in this podcast, and this does not deserve. This doesn't even come close to 1.
Look, it's a 2 at a push.
It's a 2. It's a 2 is fine. 2 is fine.
Look-
But there are certain special films that deserve for a 1. This is not
Look,
that level.
I'm
of film.
giving-
Yeah, I mean, I did give the Power Rangers Turbo a 1, and now I'm just imagining Goro ripping Lerigo in 4.
Yeah.
And that would be a 10.
I am giving this film a solid 7.5 characters introduced by their first name by the second supporting cast.
Yeah. I think mine's a 6. Mine's like a solid 6.
Like,
6.
let's be clear, listener. This movie is not good, and you should
No,
watch
no.
it.
You'd absolutely watch it. But I'm giving this 6 non-Mortal Kombat characters who are in this film for some reason, when they could have actually just been Mortal Kombat references.
7.5 epic pranks.
And also, this film,
Buckets left on the floor.
this film, 6 times Raiden appeared in a suit. This film utterly and 100% doesn't hold up. It's pretty horrific. Treats the female characters like crap.
Yep.
It's surprisingly racist.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't hold up.
It's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's so
Hella
fun.
entertaining, though.
I feel like it would have helped if I had the nostalgia of watching it before.
Oh, 100%. No one should. If you've never,
It's like a.
if you've never seen,
It's
this
like
film
I had
before,
second-hand nostalgia for it of just everyone talking about it all the time.
it's
The
solid.
soundtrack
So it
rips
was
as
just-
well. That's the
Soundtrack rip.
the incredibly bold decision to literally have the first thing be the theme song, like over the title cards for like the
Yeah.
studios and that. It's just like Mortal Kombat, here we fucking go. Like
Yeah.
so hyped.
This film sold so well. This
I
film
bet.
sold. This film was the most, the highest grossing like video game adaptation for a very long time. This film sold and sold well.
What
and is-
dethroned it?
It really, I can't remember now, but it's really like, oh yeah, obviously.
Sonic.
No, it outsold like
Outside Tomb Raider,
Um,
right?
outsold Tomb Raider. Oh, what was it? That was another one. I can't
Maybe it
remember.
was the sequel.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fucking solid. The soundtrack went platinum.
Yeah, the soundtrack is flawless.
Yeah, so this film
Absolutely,
did
it's
well.
so good.
And then retroactively, people went, oh, this film had a great trajectory where it sold really well, amazingly. Everyone loved it when it originally came out. And then there was like a mid-tier retroactive, like, actually, it's shit, never watch it. And then now there's like a resurgence of, this film is actually really fucking good, go watch it.
Yeah, like my opinion is of course the synthesis. This film is utterly dog shit. You should watch it.
Yeah, 100%.
Dear listener, this film is not good. I highly recommend it.
But I think that's it. I think that's all we can say on Mortal Kombat. I think that's all
Yeah,
anyone can say
that's
on
about
Mortal
it.
Kombat.
If you've seen it before and you have good memories, maybe watch it. But
Oh yeah, don't watch
if you
your film
haven't,
first.
No,
don't expect a
if
good
you
movie.
want to watch a dog shit martial arts video game movie, I would highly recommend
Watch Bulletproof
1995's Mortal Kombat.
Watch Bulletproof Monk.
Fuck, I could have said Bulletproof Monk there. That was a good joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it,
Well,
Mike.
too
This is
late
why
now.
you're the regular on the podcast.
Well, with that, I have been Dan.
I have been Michael.
And I've been Rev.
You can find this podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Hilton Pod. That's at HILTM Pod. You can find Rev as well at The Menace.
Yep, M&S,
they do all the
literally
music for the
fucking
podcast.
everywhere. I do the music for this podcast and not Mortal Kombat. I stream sometimes and getting back to it soon. Like find me online at The Menace. It's literally everywhere. It's solid branding. Cheers.
Yeah, there's also links in the bio.
Oh, handy.
We're on Discord if you want to come in there and tell me I'm wrong.
You up?
And we're also on Patreon if you
We
want
are.
to give us money.
One
and
second,
tell
I'm
me
just going to
wrong.
the Discord to tell Dan that he's wrong.
While you do that, I'll tell everyone about the Patreon where you can donate money to us. It's patreon.com/HiltonPod, I think. Yes?
Yeah.
Cool. We are, from now on, we are going to use all the money raised to buy an island in between realities where we're going to hold every 10 years a combat to the death, combat with a K, combat to the death with a K, combat to the death.
Death is
between a
also
load
spelled
of-
with a K. I will not
Mhm.
elaborate.
We're going to use some of the money to get to a different dimension of presumably evil people. And then we're going to say, hey, do you want to go for combat? We're going to, every 10 years, do this little Mortal Kombat thing and then when someone wins 10 times, we get to control their space, which might actually be really good. This could save the environmental problems that we have.
Look,
We don't know
I
what kind
think
of
we've got
resources
enough
they
evil
have.
people in this dimension. I think we need to find one with good people in it.
But then that makes us the evil people. And then we get
Correct.
to fight them.
Correct.
and
I'm
then-
here to do evil. I don't know about you.
So that's what we're going to use the Patreon money for. To hold some kind of Mortal Kombat. That's a good ending.